Hi, my name's Pooja, and a lot of people come around and ask me what is it that I exactly do, what is the farm about, what is Protecterra about, and I have contemplated this one, and I have thought about, what I should talk about. What is it that we do? You keep seeing posts about full moon and new moon meditations, and suddenly you see stuff about animals, then you see Vabis and me talking about mental health and stuff related to living more authentic lives. You see stuff about wildlife, so there's just so much happening there, and a lot of people keep reaching out and asking what is it about. So I'm going to backtrack many few years. There's a reason I'm wearing this gunji. A lot of you know me from in Pune, especially know me as a very very outgoing, boisterous, aggressive young Deccan Gymkhana basketball player. That was how it started off up until the teen years. Post that, I was known as the girl who went off to London and was doing something to do with wildlife conservation. I was also known for a long time as the person who spent a lot of time in forests. Over the years, one of the identity that has stuck with me is that, oh, that crazy one, that crazy girl. So there have been lots of things that have been given adjectives and entities that have been given, um, or sort of laid upon the person that I am and what I do and so on. However, one of the things and one of the facets that remains very little known to many many people, and which I'm very quiet about, is the side of spirituality that I engage with. And where does spirituality come into my work? I am a conservation biologist, which means I work with understanding the needs of conservation, engaging with people, engaging with wildlife, sort of bringing the two together and figuring out how it is that we can make conservation policy. Though I don't work at a policy level, how can we create better spaces related to conservation? Okay, that's what I am qualified and educated to do. So where does spirituality come into the picture? What happened there? Well, it started with an 8-year-old kid, as usual with kids, because they are true animals and children tell the truth, they never lie. Savage Garden, beautiful song. That it started with a kid asking me, when I was talking about illegal wildlife trade at a job I used to do, what am I supposed to do? And I had to answer this child as to what is it that you can do, what is it that you actually can do about it. And abhi samne khadi hu, I'm standing in front of this person, so I had to say something. So I gave some kind of an answer, and from that answer, I knew that I'd bluffed and not empowered this child to do something. So it kind of got me thinking as to what we can do. So Protecterra Ecological Foundation was founded in 2010 2011, and our main purpose when we started was to raise the bar of awareness about wildlife and ecology and animals. So we started off as a small young organization, very focused with raising the bar of awareness and working through education and outreach. And those three still remain the pillars of what we do: awareness, education, and outreach. Over the years, as Protecterra started growing and I started engaging with more and more people and more landscapes and more animals, I started seeing a gap that was emerging, a gap about our connection with the earth. At the same time, the gap that was emerging for me was my connection with myself. I had been, let's just say, I can really never say that I was not an authentic human being, but I was lost along my path of what I was supposed to be doing. And around the time of 2014-15, I came through what is known as the dark night of the soul, and a lot of you can look that up. But I was going through a marriage that was not working out the way both of us had envisioned. So I went through a divorce early around in 2015, 2016. But around that time, a few years earlier, I'd set up the project of the farm that you all have grown to love. And the farm was founded on the basic principles of love, awareness, and learning. It didn't start off there. It started off being a project that was meant as a campsite for people to come and sort of camp and learn about wildlife, and lots of kids have come to camps here. However, it evolved in 2015 with the entry of a few elephants. Yes, yes, real elephants that were rescued by other organizations but needed a place to be parked, so to say, while they went on to their forever rescue centers. So, when they were living with me, massive transformations were happening. And I started to realize that we as a people, me as a human being, I'm disconnected from the planet. I'm disconnected from the source of energy. I'm disconnected from what gives me life. And if I'm disconnected from that very source and that very energy, how can I even start talking about protecting any of that energy? How can I even start expecting people or start speaking about caring about the planet? So that is where the adventure of spirituality had started to come around 2014. I started getting into reiki and started getting into healing work, and went and did some vipassana, and got involved in very many different things that allowed me to start connecting with myself, my soul's purpose, more and more. Over those years, I essentially started to learn that people needed places that were kind. People needed places that were based on the core foundation of love. I needed to operate from a place of love. People needed places of equality, not just for human beings, but for animals, for nature. And that is what the vision that the farm holds. The farm holds the vision of love, awareness, and learning, a love for the self, and awareness about our relation with the planet, our impact on the planet, our impact on each other, and a learning from her, a learning from earth, a learning from nature. So that is sort of the stuff that we do, and under that umbrella we do so many things. Like, you have the Unlock Yourself Kabir course with the Baitak Foundation, you have the club that has been running for 10 years, you have the meditations that happen, we have community supported agriculture, we have farm stays. There's tons of things holding true at its base core the concept of spiritual ecology, the concept that what is within is without, what is without is within. The kindness and the love that I hold within myself is the same kindness and the love that I will give out to the planet. That is the sort of stuff that we work with. This will be one of the first videos where I start talking about the work that we do. I'm going to come back with a lot of information about the elephants that stayed with us, the different animals that we have, and I'm going to keep posting videos, every week perhaps, if that works. And yes, I'm Pooja Bhale. I am a conservation biologist by qualification, but I'm also trained in Reiki, healing, and as it goes, I happen to be a light worker with a star seed past, here to come through with an extremely soul driven purpose. Many people would like to call me a witch. I also work in a lot of shamanism and so on. So, all of that sort of comes together when we speak of ecology. Om Namah Shivaya.